Representative Matt Cook. I call the House Standing Committee on Licensing, Occupations, and Administrative Regulations to order. I'd like to welcome our new members to the first committee meeting, all members to our first committee meeting, but especially our new members. We've got several. We've got our Vice Chair, Representative Tom Smith, Representative Emily Callaway, Representative Mike Kleins, Representative Dan Pfister, Representative Kevin Jackson, Representative Cole Carney, and Representative Dixon. So welcome new members. Before we get started on today's agenda, let's go through a little bit of housekeeping. Please silence your cell phones. If you're interested in testifying, please use the sign-in sheet. Testimony is within the chair's discretion based on time constraints and information that's already been presented. No signs are permitted in the committee rooms. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Banta. Representative Bratcher.
Here.
Representative Callaway.
Present.
Representative Kleins.
Here.
Representative Dixon. Here. Representative Pfister.
Here.
Representative Flannery.
Here.
Representative Gentry. Representative Heverin. Representative Herron. Representative Huff.
Here.
Representative Jackson.
Present.
Representative Colcarney.
Present.
Representative Meredith. Representative Moser. Representative Palumbo.
Here.
Representative Pratt.
Present.
Representative Smith. Here. Representative Timoney. Chairman Cook.
Here. We do have a quorum and are duly constituted to do business. First item on the agenda is House Bill 62, and Speaker Pro Tem Mead, if you'll please make your way forward. Table is yours.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. This morning, for the record, I'll go ahead and introduce myself, Speaker Pro Tem David Mead, and I have with me Kentucky Realtors Association President Elizabeth Monarch. This morning, what we're dealing with in House Bill 62 is the issue of wholesaling in real estate. And to explain that just quickly to you, what wholesaling is and I want to start off by saying that I don't believe that all wholesalers are acting in an unethical manner. Some are doing it properly. They're licensed or they're buying in large blocks of property. They already have clients that are available to buy.
Okay, we have a motion on the bill by Representative Meredith. We have a second by, is that Representative Pratt? Was that you? Representative Dixon with the second. If there's nothing else, let's move forward with roll call, please.
Representative Banta. Representative Bratcher.
Yes.
Representative Callaway.
Yes.
Representative Kleins.
Yes.
Representative Dixon. Yes. Representative Pfister.
Yes.
Representative Flannery.
Yes.
Representative Gentry. Representative Heverin. Representative Herron. Representative Huff.
Yes.
Representative Jackson.
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Colcarney.
Yes.
Representative Meredith. Representative Moser. Representative Palumbo.
Yes.
Representative Pratt.
Yes, and this is long past due. Thank you.
Representative Smith. Representative Timoney. Chairman Cook.
Yes. House Bill 62 passes with favorable expression. We'll move to the floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative Meredith. This is the kind of committee I like to present in. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
Thank you. Okay, Vice Chair Smith, will you please assume duties of the chair? Good morning. For the record, I'm Representative Matt Cook, representing the 72nd District. I'll let my guests introduce themselves.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Shane with the Kentucky Board of Veterinary Examiners, their Executive Director.
Dr. Steve Wills with the Kentucky Board of Veterinary Medical Examiners, current chairman.
I'm Dr. Jim Weber with the Kentucky Veterinary Medical Association. I'm the Governmental Relations Committee Chair and a past president.
All right, thank you. Before we get started, I want to say a couple things about this. One, no pun intended, but this bill has been extremely well vetted. We filed this bill. We heard it 2 interims ago. We started the process. We actually filed it for informational purposes last session. The veterinarian groups had a series of roundtables across the Commonwealth during the interim. We heard it again during the interim here. We've had joint board meetings between the veterinarian groups to get the bill to where it is today. With that being said, we do have a committee sub. And if we could get,
We need to have a motion on the committee sub. Do we have a motion? We have a second? Okay, go ahead and take roll. Oh, okay, we want to adopt it by voice vote. We adopt it by voice vote. All in favor?
aye.
All opposed? It carries.
All right, thank you. Now that we have the committee sub in front of us, I will turn it over to Michelle Shane and let her explain the highlights of the bill.
Thank you, Representative Cook. This is House Bill 167. Just want to walk you through a little bit of the background and who we vetted this bill with. More than 30 years have passed since any substantial updates to the Veterinary Medicine Practice Act. And in that time, a lot has changed in veterinary medicine. We started this process, as Representative Cook indicated, in 2021. We reviewed 2 Practice Act models, one from the American Veterinary Medical Association, or AVMA, one from the American Association of Veterinary State Boards, or the AAVSB. We also looked at a slew of other state regulations. By the end of 2021, we started our outreach to both the Kentucky Veterinary Medical Association and the Veterinary Technician Association, but we also outreach to Kentucky Association of Counties, Cattlemen's, County Judge Executives, Farm Bureau, League of Cities, Magistrates and Commissioners Associations, KDA, OSV, Board of Chiropractic Examiners, CHFS, and on the list goes. We've also reached out to some private organizations such as HSUS and their Kentucky arm here in the Commonwealth. Early in 2022, as Representative Cook said, he filed the legislation to bring attention to you, his colleagues, and to start and facilitate discussions. We used that time at the board to do stakeholder outreach, 10 regional meetings in partnership with the Kentucky Veterinary Medical Association to all Kentucky licensees and members of the public. We did participate in the KDA Commissioner Quarles's dialogue on stakeholders with large animal shortage in veterinary medicine in both June and November of last year, and we testified before the interim committee. We also held multiple Zoom meetings on species-specific areas, small animal, large animal, and equines, to understand better the issues for each group. And we did a large licensee mailing and requested feedback on our annual renewal form. We took all the feedback that we received and refined the bill to make sure that it was the right language for Kentucky. So what's in the bill? Hopefully you've had a chance to look at your committee materials. We've expanded definitions to provide a common language for all of our stakeholders. And that went from just a bare 17 to more than 75 to give us that language to talk about. We have clarifying statutes regarding administration of licenses and other credentials, including renewal for all credential types, our animal control agencies, and medical records requirements. As required by the FBI, we have a statute related to criminal background checks to screen for drug diversion and controlled substance abuse issues. We've instituted stronger title protections for our licensed veterinary technician class, and we've increased board authority at the call of our licensees over the non-credential holders. And this is specifically looking at ownership of veterinary facilities by non-licensees mainly. We've added an Ally Animal Health Professional Permit at the call of the community to bring under the umbrella our equine dentists and our animal chiropractors. We've worked very closely with our Board of Chiropractic Examiners and their association to work out that language, as well as the equine dental community. We added facility registrations. And the pushback we received from the community was related to mandatory inspections, so that is now a voluntary component. But it's important to note that 80% of veterinary facilities are not seen by the public. Clients only see the reception area and the exam rooms. The rest of it is behind closed doors. So we need to make sure there are minimum standards for licensees to follow. This will also help in aiding and identifying and lessening shortage issues, elevating the practice of veterinary medicine in Kentucky. We've added educational awards. This is in an effort to help reduce shortages. This program already exists in Ohio and Oklahoma. The veterinary facility registration will help inform this program. What we want to do is form an educational award review committee, including members such as KDA, OSV, Farm Bureau, Cattlemen's, and some of our other commodity producer groups, providing awards in the range of $12,500 to $25,000 a year to get folks back into the rural areas and the areas of veterinary shortage. Finally, our telehealth framework with VCPR requirements. This is a critical component of the bill, and I hope that you will look in detail at this part. We want to keep Kentucky from opening up to unrestricted prescribing. Telehealth is an augment to the practice of veterinary medicine, not the sole means by which we should do it. Entities today can hire veterinarians stationed anywhere in the world, and they will never set foot in Kentucky, and yet they get paid based on how much medicine they're prescribing. That's not what we need here. We need to make sure that our clients and our patients have access to follow-up care, and that additional pressures on licensees don't exist to have to clean up issues that come from telemedicine without an exam. We also know that failure to properly identify and diagnose high-consequence diseases, and we're all familiar with the high-path avian influenza, I want you to know that was identified by a veterinarian in the field. We need our vets on the ground looking at these cases. And federal law requires a VCPR, our veterinary client-patient relationship, to be established in person for many items. So that's what's in the bill. What is the response in the Kentucky veterinary community? Well, I can tell you that we have a significant majority of support. KVMA actually did a survey of all its membership, and they have a high percentage of membership of licensees here in the Commonwealth. And in general, over 72% support everything in the bill. There are some areas of higher support and some a little lower, but those details are in your committee materials with a breakdown of all those percentages. We also know that the Veterinary Technician Association supports this bill for the title protection.
Motion on the bill.
I'll take this. Yeah, before we have that, we have a question from Representative Bratcher for you.
Absolutely.
Actually, two, and they're short. The 2021, I think, we passed a bill that allows veterinarians to report abuse.
Yes, sir.
Is that is something that you guys were kind of neutral on, I think?
Yes, sir. We did not put forth a position on that.
Do you know if that's been used a lot, or would you have any idea? I'm sure you don't track that, but
No, the Office of the State Veterinarian may have details on if there's been reports, but no reports come to the board. They're either state veterinarian or local police.
And the last question, Mr. Chair, is there was a movement, I guess last year or recently, where we were encouraging more people to go into veterinary field because there's a shortage of the large animals. Is that
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes, we definitely have a shortage, and that's part of the registration, that's in here. And I know that you all are prepared to talk about that a little bit, even though the vet school slots don't really have anything to do with this bill. I told them that was most definitely probably going to be a question, so I don't know who wants to field that a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're trying to address the shortage, and, we have multiple problems with that. And we feel like the education award may be a piece of the puzzle, but we won't know until we've got that in place for a few years. Right now, we are facing critical shortages in the food animal sector. We're seeing that also in the equine sector, and we're definitely seeing it in the small animal sectors. We're just not producing enough veterinarians. Now, that's a multifold problem. One of them is economics. The return on investment on education in our profession is the lowest of all the professions. So that's something that will have to be worked out through the marketplace. The second would be the return on investment on rural practice. You have to have select individuals that are not necessarily as much economically driven as they are lifestyle driven. And so I think those are things that we are looking at. Dr. Weber, do you have anything?
The only thing I would add, the association realizes the shortage also. And speaking about this bill, within that bill, you'll see that the association agreed wholeheartedly to allow up to 15% of our fees for our relicensure every biennium to be used to help fund scholarships. So I think that speaks somewhat of where we stand.
And then another portion of this bill too, regarding the title protections for the licensed veterinary technicians, would allow, by adopting telehealth, for a veterinarian to send a licensed veterinary technologist into the field to look at a problem, use video means to discuss with that veterinarian, but that licensed veterinary technologists, of which we have 3 schools in the state that produce those individuals, that would help augment rural practice. So we see that that's where the part of the telehealth part of this bill, I think, helps in agriculture.
Thank you.
Is that it, Representative Bratcher? You finished? We have another question from Representative Kulkarni.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you all for presenting this morning. I know we've heard about this issue, and of course, I'm supportive of anything that would help address shortages in our veterinary workforce and licensure reform. I just want to understand what the differences are with the bill that was originally filed and with the committee sub, if we could just get a brief rundown.
Sure. Do you want me to speak to
Yeah,
that?
go ahead.
We had late comments come in from both the Louisville Zoo and UK Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, and they wanted to ensure that they could continue their work without restriction. And we wanted to accommodate that because we know the work that they do in both of those facilities were very important.
Thank you.
All right, we have a motion on the bill in a second. Yes. Okay, we'll go ahead and take roll.
Representative Banta. Representative Bratcher.
Yes.
Representative Callaway.
Yes.
Representative Kleins.
Yes.
Representative Dixon. Representative Pfister.
Yes.
Representative Flannery.
Yes.
Representative Gentry.
Yes.
Representative Heverin. Representative Herron.
Yes.
Representative Huff.
Yes.
Representative Jackson.
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Kulkarni.
Yes.
Representative Meredith. Representative Moser.
Yes.
Representative Palumbo.
Yes.
Representative Pratt.
Yes.
Representative Smith.
Yes.
Representative Timoney.
Yes.
Chairman Cook.
Yes.
Okay, House Bill 167, as amended by the House Committee Substitute 1, is passed with favorable expression. Thank you.
Very good. Just want to thank you all for your time on this. I know it took us a little longer maybe in our average bill in Illinois, but there was a lot that went into this bill. I'm not sure what you're going to do with your free time because I think you've got a year of your life dedicated to this, but just wanted to say thank you. Great work, Deborah, everybody that was involved in this bill. Great job. Thank you. If you could introduce yourself for the record and allow your guests to introduce themselves as well.
So good morning, Chairman Cook and the L&O committee members. I'm Representative Mike Kleins, House District 68, Campbell, and sponsor of the bill.
I'm Jason Crockett. I'm the current chairman of the Kentucky Board of Barbering.
My name is Mason McNulty. I'm the administrator for the Kentucky Board of Barbering.
So we're here today to present House Bill 172. The bill was heard last year in L&O, and I'd like to have Mason, who's traveled this morning from Louisville, and then Jason, who's traveled from Paducah, to explain why it's necessary.
Our bill isn't quite as comprehensive as the veterinary bill. We only want to change one word. The law was enacted in 2018, and it moved the requirement for a school to have a senior instructor with 36 months of experience, including administrative experience. Prior to that, it was 12. What happened was there was an unidentified problem where, unfortunately, we've lost 3 schools because they were not able to find qualified instructors. There were about 40 people that were affected by the school closures. We lost a school in Ashland, and there aren't any instructors on that far end of the state. We also lost a school in Albany, and we lost a school in Bowling Green. There are lots of instructors kind of around the central core of the state between Lexington and Louisville and northern Kentucky, but there aren't any in the far ends of the state. And we feel that those areas are underrepresented, and we'd like to have an opportunity to cultivate people for those areas. What we're asking is that we change one word from 36 months to 12 months.
We have a motion and a second. Before we get there, I believe there are a few questions. Representative Gentry?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thanks for being here, guys. My question is, a few years ago when we went to 12 months to 36 months, can you educate us on why we did that then, and now we're moving back to 12 months? What are we doing to avoid a similar situation we were in before? Does that make sense? I understand the workforce challenge issues, sure. But why was it done to begin with? And what can we do moving forward to make sure we're not in the same environment we were in a few years back when we moved to 36?
Want me to do that, or you want? It's up to you.
Well, I'm Jason Crockett again. I'm the current chairman of the board. I believe the board in the past thought that it was important to make sure that the 36 months, they thought that would help people to do a better job with the administrative tasks of a teacher. As you know, as you probably saw from the materials, it already takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to become a teacher as it sits. And so I believe that they had good intentions, but the unforeseen consequences were that the pipeline of instructors has dried up. So we do believe that the time period that it takes right now for people to become a teacher, it gives us a pretty good look at whether or not they understand the rules, the regulations, and the administrative tasks that are involved in becoming a head instructor. And as the board, I believe that we can continue to make sure that our teachers are well qualified, even with just the year, and it'll help our pipeline get back to growing. Is that fair, Mason?
That's great. The other thing that I would say is that this was initially addressed because of 2 situations that had arisen, and the market actually took care of the problems that initially caused this to go into effect. Both of those schools closed for market demand.
Follow-up question, Mr. So in your professional opinion, do you think that maybe that wasn't a prudent decision a few years ago when we went to 36 months?
Unfortunately, I wasn't involved at the time. I joined the board just shortly after that. I'm aware of the circumstances, but I would agree that you have a correct assumption.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I have a question. Is it true you chose Representative Kleins to carry this bill because he has the best hair on the committee?
100%.
That's so wrong. And I did cancel my haircut on Monday, so
I was going to ask how
Just
your
for
bar-
the-
I was
just
gonna
for
ask how your
today.
barber felt about this. Did we?
hair by Kelly is what I call it.
Okay, we had a motion by Representative Huff, and who was our second from? Representative Callaway. Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Bantha. Representative Bratcher.
Yes.
Representative Callaway.
Yes.
Representative Kleins.
You might want to vote yes on your bill.
Yes.
Representative Dixon.
Yes.
Representative Pfister.
Yes.
Representative Flannery.
Yes.
Representative Gentry.
Yes.
Representative Hevron. Representative Herron.
Yes.
Representative Huff.
Yes.
Representative Jackson.
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Kulkarni.
Yes.
Representative Meredith. Representative Moser.
Yes.
Representative Palumbo.
Yes.
Representative Pratt.
Yes.
Representative Smith.
I'd like to explain my vote. It's a yes, but Mr. Chairman, we're two bills in a row. We're finding a pattern, and the pattern is we have a need out there for a lot of professional needs, and I'm afraid it's going to fall on. We're going to see a bill on teachers. I know my firefighters are having a problem going to the hours, recruiting volunteer fire departments, but by all the hours it's required. So I think we need to be prepared. We're going to be seeing a lot of this in the future. So my vote is yes.
Representative Timoney.
Yes.
Chairman Cook.
Yes. House Bill 172 passes with favorable expression. Look forward to it moving to the floor. Thank you, Representative Kleins. Congratulations on your first bill. All right, Representative Williams. Want to work your way forward to the table? Please introduce yourself and any guest you have with you today.
Good morning. Thank you, Chairman, for the opportunity to present this bill today. And what I'm here to talk about today is, my name's Wade Williams. I represent the 4th District, Hopkins County. And what I'm here to talk about today is a shortage that we have found in the professional land surveying field. And so what I want to talk about today is hopefully, like many aspects in workforce that we have today, we find these shortages, and I feel as legislators have an obligation to see what we can do to meet those demands. So today, again, I'm talking about House Bill 151. It's a professional land surveyors, and professional land surveying oftentimes gets unnoticed. We don't know what all it touches, but we find it in housing construction, public construction projects, commercial, industrial, real estate development, or maybe even putting up a fence in your house. So what we've seen with this critical shortage that we have with professional land surveyors now, we find a backlog in a lot of these events that take place. So what we have determined, the issue based on some research, is that we find that less people are taking the exam now than more people are retiring than are currently taking the exam. And some of these things that started from this was a 2003 statutory requirement. We've kind of talked about some of those before, that we moved this training certification to a 4-year program. And in this program, we found that there's some limited course offerings, and we found a relationship that would correlate to only a few more hours, and these individual students could be able to transfer into other career fields and not into land surveying. So what we want to try to do in House Bill 151 is create another available option, not eliminate the 4-year program, but create a 2-year optional program that would marry 6 years experience to that, program, and this is a core program.
Second. Are you all going to let him off that easy on his first bill with no questions? There we go. Representative Gentry.
Absolutely not.
All
Am I
right.
gonna let him off easy. Yeah, my question's pretty simple. We seem to be going to a 4-year down to a 2-year. Are you aware of what was taught in the 4-year program that is not going to be included in the 2-year program?
Well, this is the 2-year program is optional. There's still a 4-year program, and it's more of a core-based class in this 2-year program. Again, married with that experience. I can get I got some technical advisors that would tell you the exact classes that's associated with that. They would still take the same core classes. The 4-year obviously would add on, general education studies, some of those other things that are not included in that core class of land surveying.
Okay, that's fair, and I'll just, if you'll indulge me, to make a very brief comment. Representative Odell Smith made a very astute comment about our workforce shortages. We're seeing it all across all these industries, and the biggest reason is just simple population demographics. We had big baby boom generation that is at retirement age, and a lot of them have left the marketplace, and we have all these challenges that we're faced. I just want to ask my colleagues as we go forward and make all these changes, just be aware of the changes that we're making. We don't want, there's a bigger problem here that we really have to put our minds around and figure out how we're going to get through. And in some cases, dumbing down certifications may not be the best. I don't see a problem with it here that I'm aware of, but it's just something that we need to keep aware of as we move forward. Thank you.
And I just follow that up with Representative Gentry, because I definitely, very good points on that. And that's the big reason for the optional on here. And it allows the time for the schools to develop those programs and see what that looks like without losing any of the quality. And it's a valid concern.
Thank you very much. And my comment was really not as directed toward this bill as much was of the environment in general that we're dealing with as Representative Odell Smith.
Yeah.
Well, it's been going on for a little while now, and it's going to continue going on. So that's it. Thank you.
Point taken. Thank you.
All right.
All right. We have a motion by Representative Meredith. We have a second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Banta. Representative Bratcher.
Yes.
Representative Callaway.
Yes.
Representative Kleins.
Yes.
Representative Dixon.
Yes.
Representative Pfister.
Yes.
Representative Flannery.
Yes.
Representative Gentry.
Yes.
Representative Hevron. Representative Herron.
Yes.
Representative Huff.
Yes.
Representative Jackson.
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Kulkarni.
Yes.
Representative Meredith. Representative Moser.
Yes.
Representative Palumbo.
Yes.
Representative Pratt.
Yes.
Representative Smith.
Yes.
Representative Timoney.
Yes.
Chairman Cook.
Yes. House Bill 151 passes with favorable expression. Congratulations on your first bill through L&O. Look forward to hearing it on the floor. Ladies and gentlemen of the committee, if there's no further business, I'll entertain a motion to,
Mr. Chair, I'd like to register a yes vote on House Bill 62, please.
yes, ma'am.
Chairman, I'd like to register also a yes vote on House Bill 62.
Okay. Killian Timoney.
Mr. Chair, I would like to do the same, a yes vote on House Bill 62. Thank
And
you.
I would like to change my pass to a yes vote on House Bill 62. Thank you.
Any other member have further business? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion and a second. All in favor? We're adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.